Good morning, crocheters. This is Karen Whooley. Happy New Year and welcome back to the podcast. I am so sorry that I have been so absent. It's been a crazy holiday season and start to the new year. I just had so many things on my plate as I started the new year that I just could not find even a few minutes to get this video in. So I just wanted to say welcome to all the new people watching, and for those of you who have been with me, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season. Ours was a little bittersweet. If you might remember last year, those of you who have been with me for a while, that back in the week before, the Monday before Christmas of 2023, we had to put down our cat, Callie. She was just getting old. She was 16 and having a lot of back issues and hip issues, and she was in a lot of pain. And so we finally made the decision that her quality of life was dwindling and we had to put her down. Well, 2 weeks before Christmas, my husband came home from church. He and I attend different services because I cannot hear at our normal parish, and they aren't fixing the sound system, so I need to go to somewhere where my hearing aids don't go off. So he came home from his mass. He's usually home about 15 to 30 minutes before I am because I have to drive a little distance. And he found our rabbit Simone gone. She has been with us since my son was a junior in college. So that was, probably 2018 because he graduated in 2019. I believe that's when we got her. So she's been around for a while, and rabbits don't usually live that long. So she had a good life. We knew that she was going downhill. We could see the signs, but we weren't expecting to come home from church and find her gone. And then on Christmas Eve, we had to put down my cat, Amber. She was my baby from the moment I picked her up 17 years ago, almost 18 years ago now. She was in my arms purring and hugging me here. I mean, she was a little thing like this. And we had to put her down. She, 17, she had a lot of kidney issues. In the last couple weeks, we noticed that she was walking weird. She was acting weird, even though we had her on pain meds. And we found out she was jaundice on Christmas Eve, so we had to put her down. So the holidays were a little bittersweet because we were hoping Amber would make it through. But in the span of 18 months, not only did I lose my mom, but I've lost our last three pets. So we are completely petless right now. Probably stay that way for a while. I don't know how long. I'm just not ready myself. And my husband says never again, but I don't know. I mean, we miss our Amber. I every time I come home, I'm waiting for her to come around the corner into our mudroom and meow at me for a pet. So it's been really hard, and I still look at her spots where she goes and lays. So it's been an interesting start to the year. I'm doing better now. Amber, because she was my baby, it was the hardest thing for me to do, the hardest pet to lose. She had been with me for 17 years. She was always in my lap. She never chewed on my yarn. She would let me crochet. She would, do all the things. So it's been rough, but starting the new year, actually, most of you know my birthday was on New Year's, and it's always a fresh start for me. And even though I'm still dealing with kind of the emotion of losing my last pet, and it's better. I mean, I'm not one of those that I sound like I'm worse than I actually am. It just hits me at different times because she's been part of my life for so long. But anyway, starting the new year, I've got a whole lot of new things happening. And I want to show you some of the things I've been working on, some of the things I'm still working on. And we're going to go ahead and get started with finished objects. So finished objects, as you guys know, I've mentioned this a million times. I cannot do anything but knit socks while I'm watching football. So I have finished 3 pairs of socks, and I want to show them to you. The first one, I've actually finished these over Thanksgiving, and I never showed them to you, so I'm going to show them to you now. These are the oxbow socks. I'm going to get a little closer so you can see the stitch. These are knit socks. It was a challenge by Drea Renee Knits, or Andrea Mowry, if you know her by her real name. Andrea Mowry does a challenge over Thanksgiving to knit a pair of socks over the Thanksgiving weekend. So we start on Thursday and we have to finish the pair of socks by Monday at noon. And this was actually done, and these were actually done in 3 days. I got to knit all of Thanksgiving, so I was really excited. I finished the first sock, except for Kitchenering the toe on Thanksgiving, and then by Saturday night, the second sock was done. So I was really excited to get these done. The yarn I used is from Inner Yarn Zen. I cannot remember. I know the solid color is, or the tonal color is Fuzzy Lobster. I cannot remember what the Red Speckle is the other one. This is their sock base. I love this yarn. It's really soft, and I've worn these a couple times, and they're still, really looking new and all of that. So that's the first pair. The second pair I knit is called Mermaid Avenue by Summerlee Knits. And I used a sock set from Nanette Wake Studio. This was a Color of the Month club that she did in the Westport colorway. Westport is a city in Washington. And actually, the reason I bought this sock set, not only is it the blues and the greens and the purples that you can see here, but it's also where my son got his first job out of college. He taught at Westport Middle School, or Ocala. Is that right? Ocala Middle School? Anyway, that's where he was teaching his very first job. So we've been down to Westport a lot. It's on the coast and it's got the beachy colors. So this is really cool because this is also a knit sock, and you can see it, Mermaid Avenue, it's got the mermaid scales. I have not worn these yet because I've been waiting to show them to you. This is such a thick pattern that it needed to be blocked really well. And so I waited to wear them. So now that I'm showing them to you, I can wear them. They're really cushy, really soft, really fast knit too, which was, if you knit socks, this is a pattern I highly recommend. It was so much fun because it was intriguing getting these scales to form. It's a 12 row repeat. Each scale takes 6 rows, but it really, or 6 rounds, but it really was worth the knit time. So I finished these in about a week. So with just knitting at night and watching football. So those are done. And then I want to tell you about a new program, not a new program, but a thing that I'm doing. Knitting McPurley, if you have never heard of her, she is a yarn dyer. She's also a knitting designer, and she decided to do a sock club this year. And I love to knit socks while I'm watching TV, or especially football. And I've been really going at it a lot with football. But she started a new thing, and it's called, I'm going to put the button up. This was the pin. It's the League. I'm trying to get it to focus. It may not focus because of the lighting in here. There we go. League of Extraordinary Sock Knitters. So this is the enamel pin that she had made for everybody who started in January. And what's really cool about this club is every month I get a set of socks yarn. The first month was a bunch of minis for January. In February we already got, and it is a full hank of fingering weight yarn and a sock and a mini skein to do the color work, and not the color work, the heel and cuff and all of that. And what's really cool about it, and I cannot find it right now, not only does it come with, did the January come with the pin, I thought I had them here, but maybe I don't. What did I do with them? Anyway, I found them. Okay, so every month comes with a stitch marker to go with the sock pattern. And this club of extraordinary knitters is actually sock knitters, League of Extraordinary Sock Knitters. That's what it's called. We not only we started in January with her, we got the enamel pin, but we got a stitch marker. Now, what's really cool, here's January's socks. We are working through Summer Lee's The Sock Project book. So all of the socks that we're doing are knitted using her sock yarns based on one of the projects in the book. So this is the first month, and here's the stitch marker that went with it. You can see it kind of matches the colors. So I'm really excited. And we just got February's, and I'm going to show you February's stitch marker here. February's, we're doing another pattern. This is one of her ribbed patterns. Oops, let me see if I can get it to turn. There we go. This is one of her ribbed patterns, and I couldn't wait. I mean, I was done with the socks that I was working on, so I started a new pair. Here's the first one. This is the rib sock from the sock project. I just reversed the toe and the cuff colors because I really liked the orange on top rather than the yellow on top, because I'm more of an orange person than I am of a yellow person. So this is the first sock. The second sock is on the, I'm getting close to finishing the leg. So I'm hoping that by the end of the Super Bowl, these will be gone. I haven't been working on them since Sunday because I have had other things to work on, but I wanted to show you the sock club. It's really cool. Now the sock club, if you're a sock knitter, I'm a sock crocheter and a sock knitter. I actually started knitting socks before I started crocheting socks, but my sock patterns are based on my grandmother's knit sock pattern. My crochet sock patterns are based on my grandmother's knit sock pattern. So right now I'm just knitting socks because that's kind of what we're doing for the year. I'm going to be knitting a pair every month. I'm a little ahead for February, so I probably won't start any new socks in February once these are done until I get my March sock. But I wanted to tell you, the sock club is full. However, if you keep an eye on her website, she did say, and I do believe that in February's group, she was able to open up some, at least one spot. I know one spot was open because someone came in right as came into the Facebook group that we have right after she shipped February. So if someone decides it's not for them and they quit, a spot will open. So keep an eye on our website. I'll have the link in my profile so you can see that. So anyway, that's what my finished projects are. So let's talk about current works in progress. So you can tell right now I am so all over the place. It's really weird. But I found out on Thursday when I went to go get my hair cut that the gal who is doing who cuts my hair is pregnant. So it's their first baby and it's going to be a little girl. So I've decided I'm going to make her a blanket. And this is kind of a twofold little subject here. I was planning to go to Joann's on Saturday anyway, because my husband has these mouse mitts that he wears that they're probably like 25 years old and they're falling apart and he can't find any. He's been trying, purchasing them, and he cannot find any that he likes. So I said, let's go to Joann's. I'll get some fabric. I'll trace these. I'll make them out of some sort of compression material and put in the cushions that he likes on his wrists so that he's good to go because he has carpal tunnel. Well, in the meantime, I found out that Joann's has gone bankrupt and they're having all these sales, and so I decided, okay, I'm going to go anyway because I need some yarn to make something for my hairdresser. Well, I didn't realize how bad things were with Joann's. We walked in. This is a brand new Joann's. It's less than a year old. They closed the old one and rebuilt it into a bigger, more modern. If you've been to the newer Joann's, you know how big they are, you know how open they are, and they, everything's color and exciting. I mean, when I was living over on the west side of the state, we had a beautiful one not far from my house that I always loved to go shopping at. Well, my husband, who does not like craft stores, walked in with me, and as we were wandering around, even he commented on how sad this was. Fortunately, I was able to get the yarn. I'll show you that in a second. But I walked in. I wish I would have taken video or pictures. I just didn't think about it. But the floors had product all over the floors. There was, like boxes that had been broken down in piles in different areas. The shelves were almost empty. Even in the fabric area, I ended up not buying any fabric or anything because everything was just gone. And what was there was just either messed up or torn, or it was not a thing. The yarn section still had a lot of yarn, but you could see it was picked over. And then when we were at the registers, I overheard I overheard the gal who was ringing us up talk to the person in front of me saying that this is one of the stores that was going to close. And I talked to a friend who lives in Texas, and she said over the weekend she went to her Joann's, which is a little distance away in Dallas, and she said it's already closed. So I don't know what your experience with Joann's has been, but I'm really kind of disappointed because that's where I get my fabrics. That's where I get my threads and things like, snaps and buttons and all that kind of stuff. And now that I'm losing weight, I was going to start making some clothes. Now I don't know where I'm going to get fabric. So I don't know. But as far as crochet was concerned, I did get some yarn. Let me grab it here. Oh. Okay. So I decided I was going to make just a regular granny square blanket. And this is the yarn I chose. This is from Lion brand. It's called Ice Cream. And in the color Ubi, U-B-E. I don't know exactly, but it's pinks and blues and purples and greens. It's really pretty. I already made the first granny square. This is the granny square. It's a 6 round regular, just straight up granny square. I'm going to be making I'm actually going to make it a little bit bigger than normal, than a newborn blanket. I'm thinking about making it 42 by 52, which is a toddler size, so it will last for a little while. And so I'm going to be joining with just solid white. I got Pound of Love from Lion brand as well. I'm going to join with white. But what's really cool about what I'm going to do is I am going to, and I'll hopefully, if I remember, make a video of how I'm going to do this. But there is a join. And if you did my crochet along last year, it's a different join, but you join as you go. You finish all the squares and you lay them out and you figure out how you want them to be. And then there's a way to join them all in one piece. All in my crochet along, I have them in strips, and then we join the strips. This literally, we join each row as we go. And I'm hopefully going to do a video on that. But what's really cool about this ice cream is you can see it's a long striping variegated color. So every square is going to look a little bit different, which I love. So like this one did not get any of the blue or the green in it. So the next square should, because I've started it and I already see the blue starting to come out of the singing. So stay tuned for that. I'll be letting you know how I'm doing as I do these videos. I'm really excited about that one. I'm also spinning again. I started again this past week, trying to do about an hour every day. I don't have anything to show you right now because it's all on the spinning wheel, and I don't want to take it off until I'm done with this bump of yarn, or this braid of yarn, or fiber. Sorry, gosh, I've been working with so much yarn lately. So I can't pull it off to show you, but I'm really excited about that. And then you also know I am going on a cruise in August, and I am teaching a class on top-down sweaters. And originally I was going to do a yoke pattern, round yoke pattern, but I decided to stick with this traditional one that I always teach. I'm going to have to pull my hook out here. Of just raglan style, because I am updating my raglan style class, and I decided, you know what, instead of trying to write a whole new class, let's just update this one, and then I can concentrate on the yoke, but the round yoke. But this is a top down raglan, and it's my size. Actually, it doesn't look like my size, but I'm really excited about how this is turning out. The difference with this one versus my traditional class is that my original class that I started teaching back in like 2009, 2010, the neckline was even in front and back. This now I'm updating it so that you have a little bit of ease in the back that's higher in short rows. And I decided to use this linked double crochet stitch with this yarn so I didn't have obvious turn rows, even though when I did the yoke, or I did the back of the yoke, I had to turn in rows, even though I have to continue to turn in rows to get the pattern to look right. I liked this stitch because a lot of people don't like double crochets that have holes in them. And Lori, if you're out there, I did see your note in that in my Lori Marshall. I saw your note in my survey. So if you're watching this, that's one of the reasons why I picked this stitch too. So the yarn I'm using is Jody Long Alba. It's a DK weight, and I'm using a size F crochet hook. This is my Addie color coded. I love these hooks. Alba is a mix of merino, alpaca, and it's a luxury tweed blend. So it's got viscose for the tweed part of it. And the colorway is Ocean. And this is actually a skein of 300, I think it's 382 yards. It's a ball. I've got it way over there, so I can't grab it right now. But I'm just about halfway through that one ball of yarn, and this is how much of the sweater I've already gotten done. So I'm guessing it's going to be about 6 balls total, because I'm going to make long sleeves at the most. It might be 5 or less, depending on how much farther this goes. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm really excited about it. So I wanted to share that with you because that's something I am working on. I have to get more yarn from the yarn company, and I'm waiting for them to get back to me because they only sent me the one ball to swatch with. And as soon as I swatched with it, I knew this is what I needed to do. So that is what I'm working on in yarn. Now behind the scenes, I am working on my book. On Sunday night, my photographer sent me all of the raw photos, so I needed to go through them and pick out the ones I want for the book. I'm so excited. They turned out beautifully. I'm so excited. So that's in the works. I'm also working on updating my website because I have a new book coming out and I'm changing some things up. I am updating my website to reflect all of that, and that's taking some time. It will be on a new platform because I'm really struggling with the platform it's on right now. It won't allow me to do things like individual patterns. It won't allow me, not individual patterns, but individual discount codes, so that, if you do a gift certificate, you can use a partial or that kind of thing. I'm struggling. I am really struggling. So I'm working on that. That probably won't launch until like April or so, but I'm working on it. And I'm also working on, I'm teaching a Tunisian class in Hermiston, Oregon next month. So I'm getting ready for that. It's an event called Pearlside Fiber Fest. It's brand new. And if you live in Eastern Washington, Eastern Oregon, Idaho, Montana, it is for you. It is for the east side. She's calling it Pearlside because everything's always on the west side where Seattle and Portland are. And she calls us the Pearl side. So they're the stockinette side, we're the Pearl side. And because we're always forgotten over here, Spokane, all this area of Washington and Eastern Oregon are forgotten. And so Hermiston's only about 45 minutes from where I live, which is very exciting. And so it's a brand new event. There's a lot of vendors. I'm teaching my basics class because she's just doing 2 classes this year just to see how it goes. So I'm doing my Tunisian basics. There's also a learn to spin class if you're interested in spinning. But there's a ton of vendors. I will be vending there also. I have my books and patterns with me. I will be doing some demos of different things that I do, my bead classes and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be gauging interest here locally. So I'm very excited about that. Also, hopefully, I haven't heard from them in a couple weeks, but there's another event here on the west side called the Ritzville Fiber Fest, which is like at a very small town of Ritzville, halfway between where I live and Spokane. And they want me to teach because their theme is crochet. So hopefully I'll be teaching there as well. And I've got other things going on as well. So stay tuned. But I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. I'm sorry it took me so long to get here. Hopefully next time I will have more to show you. Do be able to be more here. I have a feeling though that I'm just going to warn you now. I may skip a week. I'm so invested in the book right now, and that book needs to go to layout in the beginning of March. I'm shooting for March 1st. It might be a little later than that. It depends on how I get everything put together. But so if I'm not here next week, I'm apologizing now. But in the meantime, Have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. Love you all. Thank you for sticking around with me here. For those of you who've been waiting since, I think it was the last one was either the first week of December or the last week of November. I can't remember when the last time I did this was. So thank you for sticking with me. Have a blessed week. Bye now. Bye, y'all.